Should you smash white belts? That's a great question. It's one that comes up a lot. Guys, my name is Bill Jones. I'm the head instructor of top-level martial arts in beautiful downtown Cuyahgoa Falls. Coming at you today with a topic that is near and dear to my heart as an owner. It's really important to protect the culture in my school, so I always want to protect my white belts and make sure that they are treated properly. So the question always comes up, should you smash white belts? So let's look at it from my perspective. First perspective I see is one from the point of view of people quitting. There's no doubt that Jiu-Jitsu has a very high attrition rate, and that's because it's hard. It's just really hard. For anybody who doesn't know, I don't know if you've seen my stuff before, but I do have third-degree black belt in Aiki Jiu-Jitsu and Shotokan Karate. I have a third-degree black belt, it's technically a sash, in Kung Fu, Pukulon Chinandite, in case anybody's wondering. And I've trained in a lot of other things, and those other arts don't have quite the high attrition rate at the lower belts. Now, it is real common that people will get to the black belt in those levels and then quit, but they don't have the high attrition rate. And I think that's because you don't have to actually apply it. You don't have to actually get beat up in a lot of those arts. And in Jiu-Jitsu, you have to apply it. You have to get beat up. You have to feel failure on a regular basis, and it's hard to monitor your progress. So from the standpoint of an owner, my question becomes, how do I balance this idea of letting white belts experience the failure that's required to get good at Jiu-Jitsu and keeping them motivated so that they don't just drop out because it's hard? And as some people would say, well, if they can't hang, they just shouldn't be training. I get what you're saying, but as an instructor, my job is to make them fall in love with Jiu-Jitsu long enough that they decide it doesn't matter, like if they're getting beat or not. They're just in love with it and they just want to do it. So that's my job. So that's where stripes come from, right? You see stripes on the belt and these kind of things. They're retention devices. They're ways to make it so that people can kind of see the progress that they're going through that they may not recognize without that help. So getting back to the topic at hand, should we smash white belts? I say as an instructor, my job is not to smash almost anybody. My job is to make sure that they are progressing as they should be, as what I think they should be. And for different instructors, that means different things. Some instructors expect white belts to just be pin cushions for everybody else until they get to blue belt, and then they're pin cushions for the purple belts, and so forth and so on. I don't see it that way. I feel like white belts are going to get smashed no matter what, and I don't need to do that smashing. Now, that's not to say I won't set someone in line. Like if they think that they're hot shit, to say the least, and they come in and they got a chip on their shoulder, maybe they did some wrestling, and they think they're super tough. Yeah, certainly I'll kind of settle them down. But I don't do that on a regular basis, and there's a number of reasons why. One is the attrition, and then two is I don't think it's that fun to beat up a white belt. Like, they're objectively not good at Jiu-Jitsu, and I'd rather beat up people who are good at Jiu-Jitsu, right? I'd rather go after the purple belts, the brown belts, other black belts. Like, I'd rather test myself against them if I'm going to test myself. And honestly, by the time I get to black belt and I'm rolling other black belts, a lot of times we're just having fun with position and movements. We're not even trying to crush each other anymore. We're like, oh, what happens if I do this movement through this position and see what happens? So, like, it's just not fun to beat up on someone that can't defend themselves. It's like beating up on a baby. And with that said, I'll put them into situations. I'll mount them and see what they try to do to escape. And if they're trying the right things, okay, they get to escape. If they're trying the wrong things, then I'll start to threaten submissions. If they don't recognize the submission, I'll complete it. So I see what they're doing. Maybe I'll be in their guard and they'll throw up a cross choke, and I'll push to get out to see if they go to an arm bar, to see if they're flowing properly. I'll set myself up for sweeps and see if they do that. And as they get higher and higher in their white belt, I'll start to see what they're doing to set me up, rather than me just kind of handing it to them like that. I'll see if they set up the choke. They go into the choke and they pull hard and start to wait for me to defend. And, if I don't defend, they finish the choke. Or maybe see if they're doing some push-pull to hit some sweeps and, things of that nature. Starting to set up combinations. And the same thing through blue belt. Like, I look at a blue belt as like an advanced white belt. So, like, through blue belt up into purple belt. Purple belt's where I consider someone to be legitimately dangerous at jiu-jitsu, meaning that if I fall into their game, they could get me. So if I've got a purple belt who's really good at omoplata, his omoplata might even be at a black belt level, so I have to be careful about his omoplata. But then I look for, are they expanding their game? What do they do when I take them out of their comfort zone? Boom, okay, this guy likes omoplata. What does he do if I, block the omoplata and all I'm letting him go for is armbar? Is he going to go for it, or is he just going to keep fighting for this omoplata and be real obtuse about it? And the same goes for the other ranks. Brown belts are similar. They're like purple belts, except they've got more things that they're good at, and black belts are the same way, right? And I'm not amazing at jiu-jitsu. I'm okay because I'm a second degree black belt and I've been training a long time. But I can't say that I can just play with black belts. I'm not at that level yet. But anyway, guys, my point is I don't think smashing white belts helps anything. And a lot of people say, oh, you need to get smashed to learn. So the difference between a white belt and a black belt is about 10 years of experience. And if we correlate that to any other sport, the difference between, let's say, a college freshman and a professional in the sport is about 5 years of experience, really, right? They go through college for a few years. But I don't see a lot of professional football teams going and playing the college football teams just to make sure that they get good at it. No, you get good through drilling with purpose. You don't get good through getting beat up. You certainly have to apply it. You have to go play the games. You have to see if what you're drilling works. But you don't get better through getting beat up. It's just not the way it's done. It's not the way it's done in any other sport on earth. And for some reason, jiu-jitsu people can't seem to get through their head. So I recommend doing research on sports and getting better at sports and how to coach properly. And I think you'll see that just beating people up isn't really what they need. They need drills that are very specific and, like hold someone specifically in a sit-up guard, and this person's trying to pass while the other person's trying to sweep or submit. Those specific situations and drilling those. I watched a Lloyd Irving video once, and he was talking about drilling the micro transitions, like very simple things like the guy turtles up, you immediately go to the collar. He turtles up, go to the collar. Turtles up, go to the collar, and just do it over and over and over again until it becomes second nature. Because those are the little things that are going to create the difference between good and great. It's not going and getting beat up over and over again. Certainly you have to apply it. You have to apply it. I'm not saying that you go from white belt to blue belt without rolling. Please don't misunderstand me. You will have to roll and have to get good at it. But I don't think that getting beat up is as important as a lot of people think. Guys, let me know what you think, though. Do you need to get beat up in jiu-jitsu? Let me know why. I want to know. Tell me in the comments below. Do me a favor, hit like and subscribe. Guys, this is Professor's Corner. Thank you for watching. Have a great day.